Okay, and thanks for coming back. Now this graph looks different from all the others. It's not an absolute value graph, but the principles that we learned with the absolute value graphs can be applied to any graph, and we're going to try and show you that here. So this graph is the graph of some unknown function y equals f of x. So that's what's actually shown here. Okay, what we want is the graph of a related function, a function that's related to this somehow, but instead it's negative f of x plus 2 in parentheses minus 4. Okay, so this is kind of like an absolute value function, because you can imagine comparing this to minus the absolute value of x plus 2 minus 4. It's got a similar structure, but instead of the absolute value, it's got f of. Okay, so instead of the absolute value of x plus 2, it's got f of x plus 2. Okay, and that, in terms of what we're going to do, doesn't actually matter. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to look at what happens to the original function. Now, the minus in front of everything, that minus in front of everything is a reflection in the x-axis. Okay, that's going to be a reflection in the x-axis. Okay, the plus 2 inside the parentheses. The plus 2 inside the parentheses is a horizontal shift, and it's going to shift us to the left. So this is going to be a horizontal shift to the left, and it's going to be by 2 spaces. Okay, and then the minus 4 on the end, if we can bring this up, that minus 4 on the end is going to be a vertical shift down 4 units. Okay, a vertical shift, and it's going to go down 4 units. How do we know again that one's vertical and one's horizontal? The vertical is outside parentheses, the horizontal is inside the parentheses. Do you remember which one comes first? The reflection always comes first. Okay, so do this first. Now, what does that mean? Okay, what does that mean? Well, it means we're going to take all of the points, or all the important points, to the x-axis, and then bring them on the same distance. So let's do that now. So the 3 points that we're going to use are highlighted here already. The point -4, 2, the point 0, 3, and the point 3, -2. So we're going to reflect them in the x-axis, and we'll use purple for this. So what we do is you take this point, and this point, move them to the x-axis, so straight down, 1, 2, and on the same distance, 1, 2. So that's going to end up there initially. Okay, we're going to move it again more in a minute. At this point, move it down to the x-axis, so it comes down 1, 2, 3 spaces to the x-axis, move it 3 more, 1, 2, 3. So that's 3 more there. Okay, this one has to go up to the x-axis, so move it up 1, 2 spaces, and then up 2 more, 1, 2. Okay, so now we have these 3 points in purple at -4, -2, 0, -3, and 3, 2. Okay, so what do we do next? Well, then we do the shifts, okay? And the shifts tell us that we're going to go left 2 spaces and then down 4 spaces. And we can do both of these shifts at once, okay? We can do both of these shifts at once. And it doesn't matter the order that you do them in, but we'll use a blue pen to show where the final spot is going to be for each of the points. So remember, for every point that we have now, all of those purple points, we're going to take them 2 to the left and then down 4. So let's go with this. So start with this one. Go 2 to the left. 1, 2, and then down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it ends up there. So that's going to be one of our endpoints. Okay, go to the next purple point, which is this one. Go 2 to the left. 1, 2, and down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. which is down there. And then this point here, go 2 to the left, 1, 2, and then down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it ends up here. Okay, and now we can join those points in the same order that they were joined here. Okay, so that is going to be like this. Okay, and that's what the graph looks like after it's been turned around. So if the original graph was f of x, so we can use a black line for that. So this graph here was f of x, that's, or y equals f of x. Then the one in blue, this one here, that's the graph of y is equal to minus f of x plus 2 minus 4. Okay, so look through this one a couple of times because there's quite a lot going on, and it's a little bit unusual. It's not math that you've been exposed to very often before, but it's very doable. You just take patience and take time. Do the reflections first. That just means go to the x-axis and straight on the same distance, and then do the shifts over left or right and then up or down.